Okay, so you guys know Fetch.AI. It's one of those ecosystems within the Cosmos ecosystem that I'm extremely bullish on. Now, they release a lot of updates, and we're going to look at how they fractionalized their technology and allowed different teams or enabled different teams to build their own technology stacks, which I imagine eventually in the future will converge into the Fetch mainnet and tap into the ecosystem and the type of power it's providing. So guys, if you're into these kinds of updates in the cryptocurrency space, then make sure you subscribe to my channel and welcome. So this is the Fetch.AI main website where you get obviously everything you need to know. I don't know if you find every single detail, but you find other details in this video. But on this website, you find the details about their technology stack. Now, I want to look at everything in detail, but you find their documents page, their developers, their ecosystem. If you want to look at more details, if you want to learn more, what is their technology stack, what is involved, their roadmap, and so on. So the first thing you see, obviously, is the definition of what they're up to, the blockchain network that offers easy to use tooling for developing your decentralized applications with tokens and liquidity management frameworks, so you can focus on building, monetizing your dApps. Guys, they're not just buzzwords. They've actually built some interesting applications, or rather those fractionalized teams that we're going to look at. Now, we know they're listed by Coinbase, by Binance, both Binance that's not in US, but also Binance US as well, and Binance is a staker on the Fetch ecosystem, but we'll look at that. Gemini, Indocoin, Bosch Global, Festo, Outlier Ventures, all these are significant and strategic partnership of this ecosystem, and that's why I'm bullish on them, especially as they're one of the biggest blockchains that comes out of the European diaspora. So a better autonomous ecosystem, that's their focus, creating these agents, these multi-agent systems that can allow this communication or negotiation of different parts to make intelligent decisions on behalf of the owners. So network energy efficiency, tooling, privacy preserving, and we're going to look at some of the companies that are building specifically for this automation and peer-to-peer applications. So it seems like a very widespread net, but the technology stack is actually focused to do these things. So build and deploy on Fetch.AI. The Fetch network is an interchain protocol based on the Cosmos software development kit and uses a high-performance WASM, which is CosmWASM for building smart contracts. Yes, so based smart contract language, that's CosmWASM. This also allows the Fetch.AI network to serve as a layer 1 network for Ethereum and as an interchain bridge to the rest of the blockchain ecosystem. And these are not just buzzwords, there's actually things they're building today. Obviously, you can look at the community as well. Now, if you look at the ecosystem, you find out a lot of things. I'll just multi-agent systems built for their constituents. Agents are suited for multi-stakeholder environments, unlike traditional systems whose constituents are typically built for the same developer. So obviously here they're going to, we've talked about Fetch a lot, but we talk there, essentially the point they're driving to is this automation process where you have these bots or these software modules that are built to communicate with each other, and they contain knowledge of their particular owner, so they're able to make smart and educated decisions really fast. So they're talking about some of the technology stack which already exists, like MetaLex, which is currently on the Binance Smart Chain, and you can trade with Ethereum somehow, but they're moving their tech stack onto the Fetch mainnet, and indeed it will be powered by Fetch.ai. They talk about Atomics, which is going to deal with tokenizing real world assets. So we're talking real estate, we're talking all kinds of assets, your cars, I don't know, it's going to spread out into all kinds of things, basically tokenizing those things. And Mobix, they've already built a nice move to earn application, and they've released also their NFT stack, some pretty exciting stuff. Katina X, which is a conglomerate of different companies with a similar focus, and you can see Fetch.ai is part of the Katina X automotive network, which aims to create an open ecosystem for efficient and secure exchange of information throughout. Guys, you know, like in the medical industry or the weather industry, different companies, regardless of their affiliations, they have to share this data because it's important for flight, for tourism, and for just knowing what is going on out there. So similarly here, they've formed an automated consortium to share this information. Resonate is a social media application already existing on the Fetch.ai mainnet. You can mint NFTs there, you can communicate, it integrates with Twitter and other applications. Starfleet is going to be their DEX, so they're going to create a decentralized exchange. Starfleet is a decentralized exchange where transactions occur directly between crypto traders without needing a centralized market maker, but instead using automated market makers. So that's the automation process that most decentralized exchanges use. That's the technology stack. Now, when you visit their Twitter pages and stuff, you can see some of their updates, like this one. It's a short one, so I'll play it, 30 seconds. Okay, so that's pretty interesting stuff. Obviously, they're giving some updates about how their smart contracts were used more than Chainlink. That's pretty interesting stuff. And then there's going to be an upcoming sort of Twitter Spaces where the CEO, Hima Inchik, and Emma Smith, who's the lead tech stack of developing the collective learning suite of Fetch.AI, they're going to discuss some of the developments that have been going on. So I'm really excited about that, and also their wallet upgrades and so on. So they give you some updates. Now, collective learning is one of those aspects, and I've done a video with one of the spokespeople, the community representative of Fetch.AI. I've done Tari Baskill. I've done a conversation, and he gave a lot of information about this tech stack, but it's one of those that I'm extremely excited about because it directly connects to AI, machine learning, and directly plugs into healthcare and DeFi and all other kinds of things. Financial institutions can use this, essentially leveraging the machine learning algorithms out there to make smart decisions based on the data that you have. So of course they're going to give us more information, as we'll see in the Twitter Spaces that will be that's coming soon, essentially. So amazing news. Ken Kaneki posted this, one of the other people from the Fetch ecosystem. Amazing news for Fetch holders, and Fetch.ai Binance staking becomes a top validator. So Binance is staking over 35 million FET. So this is pretty cool to know that over 20,000 cryptos out there, and over potentially millions of cryptos out there that are not listed on CoinMarketCap. It's Fetch is recognized, and it's one of the first cryptos to be launched on the Binance Launchpad. So it's interesting to keep an eye on these guys. Now, of course, guys, you can look at their roadmap where they're going to Resonate, the social media application, the travel application that they're looking to providing or creating in the future, decentralized. So we looked at Mobix, and then IoT, Internet of Things platforms, ecosystems, governance proposals, and all this. We know it's a proof of stake ecosystem, so governance proposals, launching a hot wallet. So this goes into the details. The collective learning tech stack, which is going to upgrade to the latest basically softwares and launch the collective learning version 1 marketplace as well. So integrating with Filecoin, or the IPFS, Interplanetary File System Standard, and prediction marketplace. Guys, you know prediction is a very big deal. So developer ecosystem, so the tech stack, the tools, and I like that they're implementing Python as well, because Python is a very popular language, so it's very nice that it's going to be a part of that. So CosmPy, a Python based client for building applications, ecosystem developments, the Ledger mainnet upgrade to Dorado release version 1, Cosmosm. So they're updating to all of these are all done. AA can deploy. So upgrade of network to Eridas, they're giving them all these interesting names. Release to include support for new Cosmos SDK features such as group modules, interchain, and so on. So the BLS standard as well, base signature. This is a cryptographic way of signing things. A BLS digital signature, also known as a Bonnet Lean Sachem, I probably butchered that name, but it's a cryptographic signature scheme which allows a user to verify that a signer is authentic. So, and they look at decentralization a lot as well. So BLS signature to support also the autonomous economic agents as well. Now, BotSwap, this is one of the tech stacks that I'm truly excited about, and it exists where you can automatically swap your liquidity from one to the other. So if you're holding, for example, Fetch and a USD coin, or Binance and another stable coin, in case Binance is collapsing, in case Fetch is collapsing or going up beyond the price that you desire, then you can automate it to do these swaps. So that's going to save a lot of people from rug pulls and all kinds of, it's going to be like a free insurance essentially for your DeFi whatever shenanigans that you're doing. So the technical architecture of Fetch.ai, this is a simple breakdown of what their tech stack is. So negotiating, we know the agents negotiate with each other, and then they make transactions on the blockchain. So we have that finality happening on the blockchain itself through Fetch.ai, which is going to be the main token that you're trading through, which is good. And then they're talking about incentive models. Those that have done machine learning models, you understand that for them to learn and be able to make decisions, they need to be incentivized. So they're kind of these incentive models that they will build within their algorithms to support the learning of adaptation of these machine learning models as they learn their environment in a more efficient way. Now, when we talk about fractionalized teams, Axim is one of them. So powered by Fetch.ai, Axim offers you the best AI model on your data that cannot be shared. So we're looking at privacy data, and we're looking at a company specifically focusing on using the tech stack of Fetch.ai to build this, to manage your data. So whether you're finance and banking institute, whether you're healthcare, manufacturing, like Bosch Global, Festo, and others trying to make their manufacturing processes much smarter, this is essentially built for that. If you're dealing with move to earn, we already have Mobix, which I've talked about, which has already moved to build their move to earn tech stack, and then eventually build that utility, and then eventually release their NFTs for that. So that's really exciting. Equities and commodities, Metalex, this already exists, and they just announced that they're going to move their DEX. Actually, it's right here. You can see this. The Metalex DEX is moving to Fetch.AI's CosmWasm zone. So obviously, for many reasons, we have interoperability. It's fast. It's going to be able to do more. It's going to be way more flexible. Just like we saw DYDX making the decision to move from Ethereum to the Cosmos ecosystem. It's because it's going to function better for the use cases that they're looking for. Now, Atomix is one of, we already talked about this, which is trying to essentially get real world assets and tokenize them. Pretty exciting stuff. They're going to have these kinds of liquidity pools, and the tokens you generate, you can supply liquidity and so on, and different users will be incentivized with the Atomix token. Mobix, we've already looked at them. They just released their NFTs, which you guys can look at, which essentially serve as an extra functionality within their application, which is already available. You can ride bikes and these micromobility infrastructure that don't use engines, that don't pollute the environment, to be able to earn for free essentially while doing that. So these NFTs increase what you're earning. Then we also have another company, which is Nomics, which is focusing on healthcare, and they have their light paper and their websites, invest in your health span. So they want to leverage all these machine learning and agents technologies that are being built on Fetch.AI stack to do these things. For example, at the bottom of their website, you can see autonomous agents, your personal assistant in all health and longevity related questions. Your AI powered autonomous agents take care of the secure management of your biodata and does all the search, exchange, communication, and negotiation work on your behalf. Of course, if you go all the way to the top of the website, invest in your health and lifespan. They have their light paper, guys. Of course, we all know we have to invest in our healthcare. And if you look at some of the biggest investors or people looking at that space, then you'll know that they're extremely bullish on companies that are dealing with this, like Casper and so on. So companies that are dealing in medication or DNA or these basically lifespan longevity, there's a lot of investment going into them. And to see Fetch.AI breaking out into that arena as well is extremely exciting because it fits into their array. So Autonomous is one of the other teams. Prosperity through autonomous coordination. Build decentralized services with our open source framework today and run them via our on-chain protocol. So you see this company building this thing, and they're calling themselves Autonomous. If you're not too sure, then you might not even know that they're affiliated with Fetch.AI. But when you go in there, when you read their tech stack, you know that it's built around essentially helping you learn, for example, build your own autonomous services with Autonomous. And when you go into their website, I thought I'd opened it up. I think I did. Yes. You can see they also provide Oracle price feeds. Now, there's some other announcements here, like Fetch.AI is AEAs and Accumulate. Accumulate is another company as well, but we'll get into that. So Autonomous, they announced that their oracles are live, guys. You understand, I understand the importance of Oracle and providing data that matches what you want to do. If you're dealing with synthetic assets, if you want to tokenize real world assets on the blockchain, you need data that you can trust, and you need multiple sources of data. So Chainlink is the biggest one, but if we can get others as well, it makes the space more decentralized. So live autonomous Oracle services, and you can see Bitcoin as a price that they've put there. And you can go through their Twitter page to learn more. And actually, when you go to their website, you'll see that they provided tools that will actually guide you in creating some of these technologies that they're looking at. So guys, some of the other technologies that we're looking at actually confuse these tabs. But if you go deeper, today Autonomous introduces a novel primitive to Web3 and web-based business models where the on-chain protocol owns off-chain productive services and derives profits from them. We call this primitive protocol owned services, or POSE for short. So guys, this is interesting because you're looking at is sort of a layer 2 scalability functionality encapsulated within this kind of name or terminology, like protocol owned services. We're looking at off-chain transactions, and then eventually that finality on on-chain transactions. Now, when you dig deeper into their website, you can get more details about this, like unleashing autonomous oracles, and you can learn more about how they're building this. As I said, if you go deeper into their website, they actually provide some information. Actually, let's try to open it up. If you go to their website right here, you see that they provide some extra information about learning about how to build these agents and so on. So let's put the A back into the DAO, and that's what they get into. DAO is the decentralized autonomous organization in cryptocurrency. So they talk about these smart contracts, the chains and applications that can be built. Then the off-chain stack, which you looked at, so for building autonomous applications with an open source agent-based truly composable software framework. So you have the smart contracts which connect that onto the on-chain protocol for coordinating and securing the individual application. So you're looking at security, you're looking at that, preventing double spend, and basically leveraging all these things that the blockchain technology affords us. So building these applications, allowing them or enabling them to communicate with smart contracts, and then having that finality on top of the blockchains. So different phases. So if you're a developer, you can click on their developer page and they can take you see all these slides: introduction, motivation, prerequisites, introduction to agent-based development, AEA components. So they teach you about autonomous economic agents, and that's what I wanted to get to on their website. Now, when you go deeper, the last company we want to look at is Accumulate. It's another fractionalized company on Fetch.AI. So Fetch.AI's AEAs and Accumulate's HQ ADIs, or I think they call them Accumulate Digital Identities. Yeah, it's actually right there. Accumulate Digital Identifiers are coming together at Consensus 2022. Together we'll present how Fetch.AI's AEAs can leverage ADIs to unlock use cases that need secure identities. Now, guys, we know that these guys have focused so much on essentially, like there's another company called Datarella which helped to build Mobix. So these guys are focused on digital data sovereignty, so being in control of your data. So if Fetch.AI is a company focusing on data management, then they have to make sure they focus on the very important aspect of making sure the users have sovereign control of their data. And that is very important if you're going to infiltrate this new Web3 standard, and if you're going to build a robust blockchain that's going to handle these kinds of activities within this sensitive arena of data management. Because as we move into the future, we understand the importance of data. Data is sometimes equated to oil, because oil is one of the greatest energy providers on this world, on its earth. So data is equivalent to oil because people understand the value of understanding your data. So these guys are building these agents to help you analyze that data on your behalf and use that analysis to make decisions, to make smart decisions to help you get what you need with as little effort as possible. So guys, I hope you learned something in this video. A bit of a long one, but there was a lot to catch up on, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.